Hello guys, welcome back. Promised to come back on here, and I don't have a lot of time because I promised my son-in-law I would do something in a little bit. But welcome to Nonna's Kitchen. I'm Dorothy, and I live in Rossville, Georgia, and I am getting ready for Mother's Day. I just made a tiramisu on the live, so if you missed that, go back to my page and watch it. It is made public. And now I'm going to do a dessert that I've used for years, but I never thought about it being keto. And so I pulled the recipe off of the wonderful site group that I'm in. So if you want the recipe, put group at the bottom. And so you guys know that I'm live if the little red box here says live. Hey Chris, hey Sharon, hey Jackie. If you want notifications as to when I go live, tap on my face, 3 little dots will appear and you can turn on the notices. Now guys, I will have to look at this recipe. I have not made this one before like this. And so, as I told you in my last live, I needed to prep for it. So I cleared out the kitchen with the last and opened up with this. So the first thing that I did, because it needs to be cooling, is I went ahead and made the crust. So let me tell you what I did for the crust. I simply, in a bowl, added, let me find it here guys, 1 1/4 cups of almond flour, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, hey Cindy, hey Faye, 1/4 cup of powdered swerve, a little salt, 1/4 cup of butter, and a tablespoon of water. And I mixed that together, pressed it into a parchment lined pan, and baked it in the oven at 325 for 15 minutes. I have 3 other layers to make. I cannot assemble it here on this live because the next the cream cheese layer I can assemble for you because this should cool by then, maybe. But that's still hot and it has to be cooled before I can put the cream cheese layer. Then I'm making the pudding layer. I'm making homemade pudding, and so it has to be completely cooled before I can put it onto the cream cheese. And then the Cool Whip layer will go on last, and again it has to be cooled. Can't go on to hot pudding or I'll have a hot mess for sure. But I am going to show you all of the components. So I've shown you the crust. We are now going to make the cream cheese layer. I have 8 ounces of softened cream cheese. Let me get back to my page. And I'm going to add to that 1/4 cup of heavy cream, 1/4 cup of the powdered sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. So let's get that in here. And I can tell you this bowl is going to make a mess. So let me get a bigger bowl. I know these lives are, in my mind, hilarious because I know how big of a mess I'm making in my kitchen and I have to clean it up every time. I don't know why I find that funny, but to me it is funny. All right, so 1/4 cup of the powdered swerve and 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. And I know I need this for another layer, so I'm going to stick it back over here and grab these 2. And we're just going to mix these 2 up and then quickly start our chocolate. Again, my son-in-law, if you haven't caught him on Kahuna Media, will be doing a version of his Chattanooga live that he used to do years ago. And so this is Mother's Day. Apparently, he wants to interview me. Could be scary. Could be hilarious. I don't know. All right, guys, it's going to get a little loud, but let me mix this up. Hey, Cheryl. Where are you coming from? a 1 in the comment. If you're catching me on a replay, hashtag replay. If you'd like to have this delicious recipe, put group and I will add you and tag you to the recipe. Boom. Helps when that cream cheese is really room temperature. And luckily I have a way of doing that in my microwave very quickly. Okay, so there's the cream cheese mixture. I am setting it aside so that I can put it on the crust, hopefully before you guys have to leave. We'll see if the crust is cool by then. It's still pretty warm. I would not want to put it on there. All right, next layer is the chocolate pudding layer. All right, again, I gotta look at my notes. So while everything is cooling, we're making the chocolate pudding in a medium saucepan over medium heat. We're going to combine 1 cup of almond milk, 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, and 1/2 cup of swerve. So let's get started. All right, so 1/2 cup of the swerve. Okay, double checking. 1/2 cup of the swerve. 1 cup of the heavy whipping cream. On my last slide, hey Tommy, hey Julie, how are you? On the last live, I told you guys one of the ingredients that I needed for the last dessert, I had to go to 5 stores to get. So originally I said 4. When I started naming them, I realized we went to 5. So 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk, and we're going to read the next direction. All right, so we're going to bring this up to a simmer over medium heat. Let me move stuff out of my gas stove's way. Welcome back, Ryan. All right. So, what we're going to do is once this gets up to a simmer, then I'm going to whisk these egg yolks over here. I have 4 large egg yolks, 1 of them busted as I was putting it in the bowl, but I'll quickly whisk those up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to temper it by pouring some of this hot cream back into the egg yolk to temper it, and then I'll slowly add it back into the sauce. Again, just like in the last recipe, we do not want to cook the eggs. They will eventually get cooked, but we don't want them to be scrambled eggs within our pudding, okay? So, all right, well, guys, I'm going to turn that up just a little bit. I don't want to scorch the milks, but I also don't want to keep you on here forever. So, this is called, and I don't like its name, Sex in a Pan. I've always called it chocolate lasagna. But the author of the person that did this particular recipe to make it keto, called it, Sex in a Pan. So there you have it. We'll see. Chocolate lasagna sounds more like what it is to me. That's what I've called it for years. What do you guys call it? What are you guys doing for Mother's Day? What special special something are you doing for your mom? Or for your wife who might have babies or might have your fur babies? I don't know which, but I know you better be doing something special. I know in this crazy time it may not be possible for some of you to be with your moms. That's sad. Hey Ryan, how did the videotaping go? Were you there for the videotaping? We were doing a virtual graduation prep yesterday, I guess it was. Chicken. Sorry guys, hang on. Eat and steam. I don't know which one to turn off. I don't know which one to turn off. And this is just steam, guys. I hate a fire alarm in my kitchen. Thanks, babe. My hero. Sorry, guys. But that's it. And you see, there's no smoke. It's just steam. I think I've told this story before. When we remodeled this house, I tried to get them not to put the fire alarm in here. I just wanted it on the other side of that door. And they said no, the code said it had to go in the kitchen. So that was very crazy. I hated that. But not much I could do about it. Still not up to a simmer, guys, but my hand thinks it is because this stove gets hot. There it goes. Okay. I was beginning to think we were never going to get there. Okay, so remember, I'm tempering it. And so it says I'm going to whisk the eggs and then I'm going to slowly add the hot cream into the eggs. So we're whisking the eggs. We're going to cut off the cream right now. And we are slowly adding this in. Just a little at a time, whisk it in really quickly. Again, you don't want to cook the eggs. Trying to bring those eggs, temper them back up to so that I can just pour them into the pudding or the milk mixture. And from there, we will add the rest of the ingredients. All right, I think we're good. Other than the mess I made. I hope y'all make a mess, or, well, I really don't, but I mean, hope you understand me making a mess. All right, tempering that back in. Blend, blend, blend. And there we go. All right, it says then we are going to reduce this to low and stir in cocoa powder and cook until it is thick. So I'm going to add cocoa powder, the xanthan gum paste, and then in the last little bit, I'm going to add, when I remove it from the heat, I will add butter and vanilla. So I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder. 1/3 of a cup. Okay. Dump that in. I'm adding 1/8 of a teaspoon of the xanthan. That's just a thickener. And I'm turning it back on to low. and mixing this in. Till I get my pudding. All right, let me check my directions. We're reducing to medium low. We've added our xanthan gum and our cocoa, and we are going to cook this for 3 minutes, and that's about the amount of time I have until my son-in-law calls. So guys, let me tell you what's going to happen. When this thickens up in the 3 or 4 minutes, I am then going to add 3 tablespoons of butter, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and then this has to cool. My next layer will be the whipped topping, and that's just heavy whipping cream, powdered sugar, and vanilla. And then after it all cools down, I will make a layer and I will post the picture in the morning of or tonight of the final project before it goes in the refrigerator. And then sometime around maybe 11 o'clock tonight, I will come back live with it might be, let's see, I teach. It might be 10:30. I have to look and see how many classes I have tonight. But between 10:30 and 11, I'll come back live. And that is going to be a mock keto sweet potato, not with sweet potato, like a yam, like a sweet potato casserole, except for not sweet potatoes. All right, so join me again here shortly. Again, if you know my son-in-law, Dwayne Gass, he's going to call any minute. He is going to be on Kahuna Media on Facebook Live doing his Chattanooga Live show. And I am his guest tonight since I'm his mother-in-law. So it's mother-in-law night. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful Mother's Day. If you want to catch me live for the last recipe that I'll do tonight, that'll be sometime between 10:30 and 11. And we will make yet another, we'll make a casserole. We've made 2 desserts, and next we'll make a casserole. Guys, if you find value in watching me cook, share it out. Again, the final product will be posted right here. This is Sex in a Pan, or what I like to call chocolate lasagna. And I am just continuing to cook up the pudding. And I will see you in a little while. Thank you for joining Nonna's Kitchen. Bye, guys.